Hey y'all, it's your travel bestie Kat. And one of my besties, Spencer, is going to join us and we're going to talk about the Galapagos and tease you a little bit about Machu Picchu because she'll come back and talk to us about that too. So here we go. Have a beautiful day, y'all. And don't forget to like and follow this channel. Are you ready to talk about the Galapagos?
Yes, I am. What do you want to
Yay!
know?
Well, I want to know what inspired the trip originally.
Oh, okay. So this one was a cool one. A few years ago, I was finishing college with my bachelor's degree. My uncle was finishing one of his degrees as well. And so my grandparents were going to treat us to a graduation trip. And we decided we wanted to go someplace that people don't normally go. So we had a few destinations in mind that we kind of threw into a hat and picked randomly. And it ended up being the Galapagos Islands combined with Machu Picchu. So we did like a two for one adventure
Ooh.
down to South America.
Okay, so was this a bucket list that you threw into the hat or just random?
A little bit of both because we both put we each put two suggestions in. So there was a total of four options, and it was one that was kind of like a more traditional trip, if you will. And then the other one, we made a deal that it was going to be like a bucket list, like kind of crazy experience one. And so Galapagos was my kind of crazy bucket list, why
Okay.
not adventure submission.
Nice. Now, did you have any expectations like before it went down? Like,
No. Well, a
no.
little bit. I guess my expectation was I wanted to see all the animals because, of course, that's what they're known for, like the free range wild animals that just wander up to you on the beach. So I had expectations that I was going to see certain animals that I was excited about. But other than that, I didn't because I knew it wasn't going to be like a vacation in the sense of like you go to the beach and you're relaxing on the sand with a drink in your hand. Like I knew it wasn't going to be that.
Mhm.
So I really didn't have expectations. I know it was going to be an adventure and I know it was going to be a lot of fun and I was going to see all the animals and that was about it.
Yeah, this is definitely qualifies as adventure travel, right?
Yes,
So
100%.
what animal were you most excited to see?
I was really excited about the iguanas, like the marine iguanas, because they are
Mhm.
giant. But then I was also really excited about the sea lions because they're adorable. Like, how can you not? They're like a sea puppy. So I was really excited about those and just seeing them like wandering up the beach and like coming up to people. I was so excited about that.
I know, right? Like they are like a sea puppy. I mean, I know they could
Yeah.
hurt you. Like we're not gonna go, whatever, but okay,
Yeah.
did you have a favorite island?
Oh, that one's hard because when we did it, it was by no means a cruise, but we did like this cruise, if you will, through the
Yeah.
islands, which is basically just like you're sleeping on a large boat with like 100 other passengers. And so we kind of did like that through the different islands. So we got to see, I think, three or four different islands, and each one was so different. So you have
Mm.
like your main island where there's like actual like civilization and people and hotels and things. And then there are the islands that you can't stay on, that you just go there like for an excursion to like see it and experience it and things. And each island was so different, even though they're so close to each other. Like they had different animals, they had like
Hmm.
different looking beaches and plant life and everything. And so it was so cool. I don't think I necessarily had a favorite because they were each like so unique.
That's fair. Now, did you get to snorkel with any of these animals, like the sea lions, the turtles, the sharks, or the penguins?
Mhm.
Mm.
We did. So it was really cool because it was included as part of like the trip and like being on the boat and everything. Like they had wetsuits, they had snorkel gear, they had all the things. And so they took us out to like this little reef and you could go snorkeling. And so there was sea turtles. We saw some sea lions, a bunch of fish, some of the marine iguanas. We saw like all the things and it was so cool. It was freezing because what I forgot is that they're in the southern hemisphere. So even
Oof.
though it was summer for us up here, it was like winter for them.
Ooh.
So it was like 70 degrees. The water was a little chilly. The only wetsuit they had on my side was like sizes like shorts. So I was a little chilly,
Oh my
but
God.
it was an amazing experience. It was so much fun. It's
So note
gorgeous.
to self, you might want to bring your own wetsuit, just an
Hmm.
FYI, especially if
Or
you're
or
tinier.
mhm. Yep. Or go when it's like a little bit warmer and it's not their winter.
Yeah, but it's probably
Mhm.
cheaper if we go in the winter, and some of us are on a budget. So, you have to
Probably.
think about the budget
Yeah.
travel.
Yes, definitely budget. Yep.
What was your favorite excursion?
Ooh. The snorkeling one I loved. We did like a glass bottom boat one too. So like they like went over all the reefs and things, and so you could see things out the bottom of the boat. That was really cool. A lot warmer than the snorkeling, which I enjoyed. Um, but I also liked kind of just going to the islands because we took the little they look like inflatable boats with a motor. I know there's a name for them, but I don't know
Oh,
what they're
yeah.
called.
I know what
You know
you're
what I
talking
mean?
about. Yeah.
Like the tender thing to get us like from the boat to like the
Yes.
islands and stuff. And a lot of times when we were doing those, dolphins would like come up and like swim like beside the little
That's so
boats and like
cool.
play with us. Yeah, so I think that was beyond like any excursion. That was like one of my favorite things is because you're there and there's like literally a dolphin that you could reach out and pet, but you can't reach out and pet, but they're like playing with us and everything. Yeah, that was great. That was
That's
my
so
loved it.
cool.
Favorite.
It's Gary the dolphin. Okay. Now, there's some like hiking and volcano treks that you can do too, right? Did you guys do any of
Yeah,
those?
and we did a little bit, and I think it really depends on what kind of trip you do and what you book as far as like tours and excursions or, what company you book through. So one of the things is you can't go on the islands without like a certain essentially tour guide with you. You can't go any place without them because they're I guess like licensed maybe or something to take people on the islands and keep them and preserve them how they want to maintain the Galapagos. So we every day on the boat we had I think two or three different excursions that we could sign up for. And there were ones that were like more hiking. There was one that we did and it was all like volcanic rock. We like climbed to the
Mhm.
top, beautiful views. There were different ones to like kind of beaches and things like that. So there's a lot of different things that you can do. It really just depends on, where you're booking through, what you're doing. But pretty much every island is made from volcano lava and rocks and stuff.
Oh.
So you see a lot of that. But no matter where you go, what hike you do, what beach you visit, it is absolutely gorgeous.
Was there one activity you'd recommend everyone should do?
Um, ooh. Definitely snorkeling because I think that's always an experience. The tortoise farm is really cool. I forget which island it's on, but
Hmm.
they have this like giant tortoise farm and you like walk around and there's literally like hundreds of tortoises,
Oh,
hundreds of them. And they're so
yay.
cute, but they're giant and they're like snacking and like in the wild. And then they take you to this other area where you get to see like the baby tortoises and they're in like little enclosures and there's like little baby tortoises. And so you get to see like all like from the baby tortoises to like the big, like old, like decades old tortoises. That's really cool because I mean, that's what the Galapagos are known for. They're tortoises and everything. So they give you like the history of, why certain tortoises are shaped the way they are and, how
Oh.
Galapagos came to be like known for the tortoises and everything. So it's really cool. There's a lot of like history and stuff there to learn. But I think the tortoise farm is like a must do.
Okay, if someone were thinking about booking this, what's something they should know before they book it?
It's not a vacation. It is not a vacation. It is definitely an adventure. You're not going to be relaxing on a beach by a pool with a drink in your hand at a resort. Like that's not what this kind of trip is. It's definitely an adventure and it's an amazing adventure, like absolutely amazing adventure, but it's not going to be like a relaxing beach trip. So I'd say be prepared for it not being like a vacation. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be absolutely amazing. but you're going to be like constantly on the go, and it's
Maybe
going to be so
pad a
much fun.
couple days on the end when you get back home to take a nap.
100%. Yes.
How many days do you think you'd recommend people should go for,
Um,
especially if they're
I
adding in Machu Picchu?
Yeah, so we did, I think it was 5 days that we ended up like doing the Galapagos part of our trip. And I think that was really, it was a good kind of balance because it wasn't too much, especially like the boat that we were on, it was kind of small, so you could like feel the waves.
Mhm.
It was a lot of just constantly going because you're doing all these excursions and hiking and walking and all these things. So we did 5 days and I think it was really good. I think that was like the perfect amount. I know that they have like tours and stuff you can do more. Um, if someone really loves the water and loves the ocean, maybe do a little bit more. But I
Yeah.
think 5 days was a really good opportunity to get to see enough, to do enough. And then we continued our adventure to Machu Picchu, which I believe it was another about 5 days or so that we ended up down like in Peru, and doing some things down there. And then thankfully, I gave myself a buffer day between when I came back and when I had to go to work, which was much
Right.
needed after that adventure, because I think it was a total of about 11 days that we were just constantly going.
Yeah, you got to have that nap day. You got to have that day to recover.
Definitely. Hmm.
Okay,
100%.
what was your biggest wow moment?
Ooh, biggest wow moment. I think it was actually the first day we got there. So we had flown, you like have to fly into Ecuador and then you have to fly to like we flew to like Guayaquil and then we flew into San Cristobal. So it was like three flights and everything to get to the Galapagos and then, get on the boat and everything. And the first day we were actually like in the Galapagos, we did a hike and we didn't know where we were going. The tour guide just told us like wear comfy shoes, bring a water bottle, like didn't tell us where we were going or what we are
Okay.
doing. Um, and we ended up hiking up to the top of this kind of like hill. It wasn't necessarily like a mountain, but kind of like a hill. And when you get to the top, you're at the top of like cliffs. And so you can just look out and the ocean is gorgeously blue and the waves are like coming up against like the other cliffs and the rocks. And it was just like the most gorgeous, like breathtaking view.
Ah.
And it was like absolutely like amazing. It was one of those like, okay, we're here, we're doing this kind of thing. So it was really cool.
You went on a mystery hike and it was awesome.
Hmm. Yep.
I
I
like
learned to
that.
trust the tour guide. Trust the tour guide.
Now, did anything go wrong during the trip?
Um, I don't think so. I think everything went pretty smooth. Neither of us got seasick, which was great.
Yes.
Right, always a great thing. No lost luggage. No, my uncle did leave one of his like toiletry bags in one of the hotels at one point. But I think
Oh,
that was after.
dang.
I think that was from the Galapagos going down to Peru. But yeah, other than that, no, everything was really smooth. Flights were all good. We're on time. The traveling, everything, it was super easy. Yeah, nothing went wrong. It was fabulous.
Nice. Was there a funniest thing that happened other than, your uncle going with you? Because he's a good time. I know
Oh yeah,
him.
he is great. Traveling with my uncle is great. Um, I think we were on this like excursion. I think it was just before we were going snorkeling. And in the group we were in, there was like an older couple and they had their grandson with them who he was probably like 8 or 9. And we were on the beach and there are these sea lions and they're of course like walking up the beach and laying down and everything. And one of the rules there is you can't touch the animals. Even if they come up to you and they're like trying to
Oh,
like cuddle you and like nuzzle and stuff, like you can't touch them. So this
so what
sea
do you
lion, it was
do?
a
Wait, we
you
pause. What do we
just
do?
you
Like, if
can't
there's a
you can't
puffin
do
climbing
anything.
into my lap, I'm not
Yeah,
moving. I
you just
live
have to
there now.
you just have to like sit on your hands. I don't know, but yeah. Right? Yeah, you can't
I would.
touch them. It's so sad. Because I would break the law. I would get fined. I would get thrown in Galapagos jail for petting them if they came up to me. I would.
Yeah,
I
whatever.
would. I
I don't
would.
care.
And I'd do it again. So there was this like little sea lion, and it was a baby. And so it's like crawling up the beach, and the little kid's sitting there, and it crawls up and it like plops itself down next to him. And then it's like kind of like trying to like nuzzle him and everything. And he was being so good and like trying not to
Oh,
touch it, but we're all sitting there like, we won't blame you. We won't tell anyone. We won't blame you. Just touch it, pet it. Like it was the funniest thing because he was trying to be so good and he's just like looking around at everyone like, I want to pet it, but like I know better. It was
I
so
would have petted
adorable.
it. I would
I
have
would.
petted it. I wouldn't even
I
care.
would have.
I'm going to
Mhm.
jail.
I
Like,
would have. Yep. I'd
first
be like,
day, last
he
day.
yep, yeah. It approached me. He came up to me. So he deserves the pets and the loves. Yeah, yeah.
This
I'd
is
go to
my,
jail for petting animals. Hmm.
I would have named him. He'd be my best friend. Like, I don't even care.
Yep.
Don't
Hmm.
even care.
Same. Same.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Other than the fact that we're both hopeless and we would get arrested in the Galapagos, did you learn any other lessons on this trip?
Let's see. What else did I learn? I learned that it can be chilly, even though it's our summer. It's their winter. That was a life lesson for me. Um, what else did I learn? I learned a lot about tortoises. A lot
Mm,
about tortoises. Um, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of things that, like, I think in the moment I learned,
yeah.
but
It kind
I
of
think
leaves your
overall,
brain. Yeah.
one of the coolest things though that I did learn was like the reason why the Galapagos is so restricted and they have so many rules about like not touching the animals and you have to be with like a specific tour guide on the islands and stuff. I think learning about like the reasoning for that was kind of cool. And it's all to just preserve everything that's there. And like
Yeah.
the animals, they will come up to people. They're not afraid of people because they don't have any predators. Like we're not a predator for them, like we are
Yeah.
at home. So that was really cool, just like learning more about everything that they're doing to try to preserve what's there in the Galapagos and keep it that way and keep so many of the islands just like untouched.
And some of us would do something stupid if you didn't have all these rules in place. Like, I get it.
Yep. Yep. For sure. Hmm.
Why do you think that the Galapagos impacts people so deeply? Like, we all have these, like, it's on everyone's bucket list.
Yeah, and I think that's why, because it's so untouched by humans. It's so like pure and natural and gorgeous and not ruined by people. And I think that's why. Like, where else can you go where there's all this wildlife just roaming free, has no predators except for like their natural selection predators, but there's the islands are gorgeous because people aren't allowed to like bring stuff on the island. Like there's no trash on the
Mhm.
islands. Like it's just so pristine. And I think that's why it's such one of those bucket list places for people because it is gorgeous. It's not like any other place you're going to go. There are so many animals, there's so much history, so much to learn, but they make sure that it stays that way. And I love that.
Nice. Okay, would you go back?
Of course. Of course, I'd be a
I'm like,
little better
you know,
prepared for it to be an adventure and be like hiking and walking, and like I would definitely go to the gym and prepare a little bit better for that stuff. But overall, I would go back in a heartbeat.
if you could give some advice to someone who's looking at this trip and thinking about it and planning it, what would it be?
Ooh, go to the gym first, prepare yourself exercise wise so you can do all the hikes and the walking and things like that. And I think too, like we did pairing it with Machu Picchu, pair another like adventure with it. Because the Galapagos, it's so fun. But like we already talked about, I think like 5 days is definitely enough.
Hmm.
And having like another adventure with it. So being able to be like Galapagos and Machu Picchu in one shot, one adventure, and those are two like bucket list places for so many people. It's reasonably close. So it's definitely worth it while you're down there in South America to do another adventure kind of tacked on to the end.
Nice. Did you have a favorite animal?
Ooh, I love all animals. There are penguins there, by the way.
Oh no,
I didn't know that there were penguins in the Galapagos
you did
Islands,
it?
but there are
Oh,
penguins
I
there.
did know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope, I didn't know that until we went and they showed us the little penguins. They're adorable. They're only like this big. They're little
They're so
tiny things. Love the penguins. Love the penguins. The sea lions, of course, like that little sea puppy face. Gotta love those. Um, what else did we see? We saw a lot of birds. There were a lot of birds there. I got to see a blue-footed booby, which was kind of like I feel like I needed that in my life because they're super cool.
cute. Hmm.
Got to see albatrosses, which were really cool. The lizards and iguanas, which those things are huge. They're not like our
Oh
normal,
yeah.
like domesticated ones. They're giant.
No, we're like
Um,
kimono dragon size.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, they're big. But I think overall, I think the penguins were my favorite. Those were like the coolest ones to see.
Okay.
Um, but really all of the animals, because they're such cool animals, and then you get to like learn a little bit about them and stuff. It was really cool.
Did you have a favorite meal?
Yes, yes.
I know this
This
answer.
this is the trip where I fell in love with ceviche.
Mhm.
Um, because there is nothing like South American ceviche, specifically Peru. But when we were on the trip to Galapagos, they had it like on the boat for us, and of course had all the things like it had the shrimp and the fish and the octopus. And I fell in love not only with ceviche but with octopus as well. And it's terrible because I cannot find it anywhere around here, but that's fine. But the ceviche was definitely my absolute favorite of the entire trip.
We're going to need some people from Peru, if you're watching this, to move to the Carolinas and open a
Yes,
restaurant so that we can go eat there. Thank you. Okay.
yes, yes, please. Thanks.
Best photo you guys took on the whole trip.
Ooh, the best photo. There's some really good ones. I got that hike I was talking about, like the top of the cliffs and the water and everything. Those ones are really cool. I think my best and favorite picture, there's two. So one of them was an underwater picture I took when we were snorkeling. And so that was really cool. The other one is the tour guide got a candid picture of my uncle and I like taking a selfie together. So like we were taking the selfie and he was like off to the side. And so you can see like us like posing for the selfie, but then like the whole backdrop of like the ocean and the cliffs and the waves and like all the things. So that one was really cool because it like captured a moment behind a moment.
Yes,
So I
I
really
love
like,
those.
yeah. So I
That's
love
so
that one.
cool.
And then,
That is the best
yeah,
photo. Yeah.
yep.
Was there a big surprise? Anything, the biggest surprise for you on the whole trip that you like just never
Um,
saw? Like, wow.
uh, I think the whole thing was kind of a surprise because that's one of those trips that like you can explain it to someone, you can tell someone, but you have to experience it. And I don't know how else to describe that. Like I can try to explain to someone like what this trip was and what to expect, but you're still not prepared for what it actually is and what you're going to see and the whole experience. So I think the whole trip was kind of like a surprise in itself of what it was actually going to be.
Nice. Is there one word that you could describe the Galapagos with?
Ooh, that one's tough.
I know.
Majestic.
Ooh,
Just
I
like all
like
of it. The
that.
animal, yeah, the animals, the scenery, like all of it. Yeah, I'm gonna go with
I
that.
love
And no
that.
explanation.
Okay.
That's it. That's all you got.
No, that's just it. It's majestic. Go.
Majestic.
Book it.
Yep.
Nice. This is awesome. Okay, we're gonna have to get back together to talk about Machu Picchu because we couldn't,
Yes.
like, we were 25 minutes talking about the Galapagos. So we're gonna have to
I
reschedule
know.
and chat
Yeah.
about
We'll
Machu
do a part two. We'll do
because I
part two
do
with
have
Machu Picchu.
questions.
I
Yeah.
will answer all the questions.
This was awesome. You're the bestest. Thanks
I'm
for
here
coming on
for all
my
the travel things.
podcast. Yes.
Of course. Yeah. We'll do part two on Machu Picchu and any other
Yeah.
adventures I've been on that you want to hear about, I'll tell you. Spencer's Adventures.
Yeah. That's what we'll call it. It'll be side trips with
There we go.
Spencer or something. I don't
There we go.
know.
Side quest with Spencer. I love it.
Well,
I
I love
love it.
you. You're an awesome friend, and I appreciate you
Love
coming on
you.
here. And I hope you
Love
have a
you,
great
friend.
day.
Thanks for having
Bye.
me. I'll have to be back soon. Bye.
Yay.